According to President Buhari's latest statement in September 8, 2020, in Abuja, he said he was embarrassed and emotional when President Trump accused him of killing Christians in Nigeria. Well, in his response, he said the ongoing reported killings between the Fulani Herdsmen and the farmers is not a religious issue but a culture-related problem. In my opinion, this is a big lie. And of course, you should not expect President Buhari to admit to systematic killing or genocide charge because he knows the consequences of such offense. Stay with me. Let me expose his lies. Let me back my statement with more documentary evidence that the killings of Christians is going on in the country till date. Washington-based NGOs is very much aware of the killings and have not been quiet about it. At a news conference in June 2020, former Congressman Frank Wolf called the campaign against the Christians in Nigeria's Middle Belt a deliberate genocide and stated that Nigeria was becoming the, and I quote, biggest killing ground of Christians in the world, end quote. According to reports, 43,242 Christians were killed by Boko Haram, Islamic State, and Al-Qaeda. 18,834 died in Fulani attacks, and 34,233 from other armed groups. Well, the breakdown of the killing should inform you that aside from the Fulani Herdsmen, the known killers of Christians, the Christians were also being killed by both Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram. Please stay with me, more to come. Archbishop Benjamin Kwasi in Jos, the General Secretary of Conservative Network of Anglicans, said the killings, and I quote, were systematic, it is planned, it is calculated, end quote. He pointed out that despite several pleas with President Buhari to come to their aid, he ignored them. Quote, every time we have raised our voices to say to the government that this is going on, they always produce a political narrative to say that it is farmers and herders clashes. And I quote, these killings are specifically in the Christian villages, end quote. In my opinion, the creation of NGO like persecution.org, the International Christian Concern, is a valid documentary evidence that the Christians were being deliberately murdered by Fulani Herdsmen, Al-Qaeda, and Boko Haram, as you can read from their website. The problem: Christian farming villages are repeatedly attacked in Nigeria's Middle Belt region. Tens of thousands have died over the last 20 years. Nigeria is the blue eyes of Christian persecution in the world, but few are aware of it. Hundreds of thousands of Christians have lost everything and are living as refugees. Two main players: Boko Haram, organized, structured, armed Islamist militant group based in the north. Remember the kidnapping of Chibok girls? That was Boko Haram. Fulani militants, nomadic cattle herders that are armed and intent on driving Christians out of Nigeria's Middle Belt. They attack Christian farming villages at night and kill the Christians using machetes and guns. They are just as deadly as Boko Haram, but less is known about them. Again, in the past 5 years, since the killing started, several NGOs have sprung up in Nigeria. So, the question the President Buhari should answer is, why now? Why the creation of several other NGOs fighting for the lives of Christians in Nigeria if they were not being murdered? In 2018, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo related to the U.S. Commission. Highlight and recommend that Nigeria should be placed as a country of special concern under a watch list. More so because religious persecution was very rampant in 2018, with little done to avert it. This was in 2018, so President Buhari should not be surprised when in 2020, President Trump asked the obvious question again. Well, to me, this is a follow-up question. What the US already known. That said, the killings, beside the killings, the high level of corruption, looting of national treasury by politicians, and nepotism triggers Kano to initiate the agitation for Biafra. Check my video titled Nnamdi Kanu, the Angry Young Man. You will see it at the end of this clip. Well, if the US decide to intervene and save the Christian, I hope some Muslims will not turn around and say the US is biased towards the Muslims. Okay, here comes the best part. Subscribe. And again, start stock investing for capital gains and dividend yield. Subscribe to my channel. You will see more videos on how to start stock investment to build wealth. The goal is to generate wealth, build companies, and create jobs. Bye now. See you soon.